Hello everybody, my name is Tyranthir, and today I'm going to do a special little guide on improvised fishing in DayZ. Now, if you're like me and sometimes food can become an issue on your longer journeys, we're going to cover that today with what I feel is one of the most low risk ways of getting food while you're out there in the various maps of DayZ. Today we're going to be near a town called Novi Sabor. There is a pond that I'm currently going to be going to where I have collected the majority of what I need already to get the fishing rod and hooks ready to go. Hopefully we get more fish than trash while fishing, in case you weren't aware that sometimes you might get cooking pots or boots instead of the fish you're looking for, but that's highly unfortunate. So this is the pond. This pond right here is one of the ones I like to frequent if I'm coming through towards the middle of the map. Very well sightlined. You can see a whole lot around and check to see if anyone's trying to come up on your 6. So right now I'm going to put the bones down, and then I'm going to shift over, and I've got 2 stacks of rags. That is so I can craft a rope. I had rope over there where I stored, however I want to be able to show you more ways to craft rope other than just finding it in case for survival needs. Now I'm going to go down and take this tree down because I need 1 long stick, which will end up being the actual rod itself. And we're going to go ahead and set this down over here in our little work area. Now, let's see. We should be able to get everything. Okay. So, we have 10 bones. We're probably not going to make all 10 hooks. As you can see, I pulled out a bladed weapon. This is my machete, but we should be using the hunting knife. And it says hold left click to craft improvised hook. So, it's going to take a little bit. It's not a very quick process, but there's nothing we can do. We're not going to speed up the crafting times or anything. So, I think I'm going to craft about, I'm going to say 3 or 4 hooks just so we can get this on the road. There's 2. Coming on number 3. Fish is one of my best to go after because I feel it is more nutritionally superior than some of the other meats. It lasts a lot longer, I feel like, after you've maxed out on your intake for it. However, its space is 1x3 instead of 1x2 like some of the others, or the 2x2 like the beefsteak. Okay. Last hook. So over there we have bone fishing hooks. Now I need to gather worms so we can bait the hooks. Alright, now we're done with the worms. We're going to come over here and grab these stacks of rags. So we see 2 stacks of 6 for a total of 12. 1 in the hand, 1 on the ground, and we're going to hold left click to craft it into a rope. Now we're going to pick up our rope, and we're going to walk over here to our long stick, and then we're going to craft an improvised fishing rod. Simple fishing rod. There we go. Now we can come on over here and we'll just start baiting these hooks. Now, as you're probably aware, it says there's the slot for the hook on the simple fishing rod. You'll find clothing from the hunter variety that'll have that. If I remember correctly, it is the vest and a boonie hat will both have built-in slots for fish hooks. Should you find a metal hook, which would be much better than the bone hooks. But if all you got's the bone ones, then you can just craft a couple up real quick, put those in the slots and take them with you, which should help save you on time if you get too low on your nutrition further into your journeys. Yeah, this is in a lot less competition of a way. As you know, hunting the deer and the other animals with a weapon that is not silenced is going to be much more difficult since the gunfire will draw other players and potentially other animals such as the bear into your area if there's one nearby. So a simple way to get food and to try to not cause a lot of ruckus is one of my favorites. Will be fishing, as we see right here. Let's got the rod ready. Now we're going to cast. Now this is the part where it takes a little time and you have to just sit and wait and watch your little activity timer there in the middle crank through. Sometimes you get it right in the beginning, sometimes it takes 6 attempts. So right now we got one. Let's see if we're lucky with a fish. Alright, we got one carp. No boots this time. We're looking good. Go ahead and grab that real quick. Let's get the next hook going. And once again, into waiting for the little activity counter in the middle. Now, this cannot just be done in rivers and ponds. You can also take your fishing methods with you to the ocean should you wish to travel further south. Or if you are south or east, depending on what city you spawned outside of and find the necessary equipment to start fishing, then you can go ahead and take it back to the beach or the beaches. If I remember correctly, you will be seeing mackerel, though, instead of carp, but is a better source of nutrition. We got our second one. So right now we are 2 for 2, looking good. We're not getting a bunch of trash out of the pond. So we should just do this probably one more time, just for the sake of trying to get the odds of the fish to show. Now while doing this, you can feel free to hit Alt on your keyboard and look around to make sure that you don't see anyone coming up from any of your avenues of approach. Because as you can see, you are locked down into this position, so defending yourself would be a little bit more difficult since you'd have to stop the current fishing action and then draw your weapon. So try to stay attentive, but definitely try to do your best to look around the area before you sit down to fish. Any second now, we'll get this one taken care of. Almost there, and nope, I jinxed myself. Okay, there we go. Now we're gonna be 3 for 3. We are indeed 3 for 3. Alright, so now I got all these taken care of. Use this fish. I'm gonna go ahead and put that down. Now, if we're gonna dress the fish out here on the ground, remember, if you do not got gloves, your hands will get bloody and you'll have to wash them off if you do not want to risk getting an illness. But since you're fishing, you should be right by a water source, so washing your hands should be relatively easy in comparison. But I have gloves on, so I'm not going to have to worry about that. We're going to pull out the hunting knife, and then we are going to gut and prepare. There's one down, on to the next 2. And 2, working on 3. Now this is for improvised fishing, however, there are actual rods and hooks, as I mentioned before, that you can find that will last much longer than the improvised versions, but should you not come across that loot, you are able to craft it yourself in the needs of survival. And now we have 6 carp fillets, and as you can see, I'm going to stack them in here next to my ghillie. They are 1x3, so inventory management will be a little bit more intensive on this as opposed to chickens or the venison steaks. So I'm gonna get all these stored up, and I'm gonna get ready to head off and go cook these before I start traveling further north. And I will take the rod with me just in case, and any hooks that are left over that are not ruined, just so I can save my time in the future. Alright, everything looks good. I try to get rid of the evidence that I've been sitting in the certain area if I don't know if anyone's following me or not. So I'm going to take these bones, and I'm just going to walk over here and just toss them in some random direction. And there we go. So now the bones are going to be off on their way. And there's a cooking pot from a previous attempt that I had. Okay. Well, that'll be it for the improvised fishing. As I said, my name is Tyranthir, and I'll be making a lot more of these guide videos as well as posting some of my adventures with my friends. Please leave a like and comment and subscribe if you will, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Goodbye.